introduce Carl here, who is the owner of Credit Cocky, and he runs the Facebook group Credit Blueprint, and he's a credit coach, and you know, he is beating me right now in the amount of people that we have in our groups. So it's always a competition. So I will win eventually, one way or another. I'll get there. But Carl, thank you so much for being here. And I know you had me on your Facebook group, so I have pretty much some set questions that I think would be, you know, my audience would love to get to know you a little bit better, and how there's a reciprocal relationship. So if it's okay, can I get right into the questions here?
Let's cut the fat, Mike. Go right into it, man.
Go for it. Okay.
You know, by the way, we learned something though. If you go live on your computer, you can't bring someone on. I didn't know that either. So there you go.
Yes. So there you go. You have to go to bring somebody onto your Facebook Live. You have to be on your phone, or from mine and Carl experience. That's what we learned. First question for Carl. What is your story specifically, and how did you get into credit and coaching and that sort of thing?
Am I allowed to keep it real, Mike?
Yeah, 100 always.
Yeah. All right, good. Actually, I got into the credit repair business because I couldn't get back into the mortgage business. So I actually ended up, for a guy, I've never done a drug one day in my life. I could not pass a drug test to get back. I was in the mortgage business from 98 to 2008. And when everything went bad in 08, I jumped out of the mortgage business and I was in the credit repair business for a little bit. And I'm like, wow, this is not what I'm used to. So I had to try to get back into the mortgage business. My manager, who was my manager for 10 years, she's like, no problem. You were a top producer. Just come back, take a routine drug test. And I couldn't fill the cup up. And they suspected foul play. And I couldn't get back into a business. So it's kind of ironic. I've never done a drug in my life. I failed a drug test to get back into my livelihood. The only thing I've known for 10 years of my adult life, selling mortgages, being an originator, and I can't get back in that business. So it forced my hand, like in the credit repair business. I had to learn the business and start to build the relationships. And that's how I got into this business.
Wow. So you actually, it's almost a twist of fate that you actually were trying to get in one thing and you couldn't, but this door opened up for you.
And then this door was wide open. And I had to make it work. And I had other opportunities as an originator, but I'm like, you know what? Let me go back and try to make this work, because I saw a big need for it. There was a lot of people in 08, 09 that were going through stuff. And I was like, there's a big need for people that need to try to clean their credit up. So let's make a go at it. 2011, I formed Credit Blueprint. I found the Credit Blueprint.
So 2011, you formed Credit Blueprint, and give everybody out there who's going to watch this an idea of what you've been able to do business production wise in your career so far in the credit world, to kind of give yourself some pat on the back and some clout to the audience to understand of really what you've been able to do, which is amazing.
100%. Yeah, we're scaling a multi-million-dollar business this year for the first time. So it's very, very exciting. Took a while to get there. You know, during that, when I had you on my group, Mike, talked about, like, you said, I don't know what it means to be a luxury agent. Like when you first started, you're like, I don't know. Like, you know, same thing with me, man. I didn't know what it took to run a credit repair company. I really didn't know. So it was a lot of trial and error, trying to figure things out, what worked, what didn't work. You know, I'll never forget in 2011, there was 6 months, 8 months, a year, we would try some things, Mike, meaning if we had a customer in our program and we were trying to increase their credit scores, there were absolutely times where the scores would go down. And we'd be like, oh, man, okay, you know, let's not give that advice again, because that doesn't work, you know. So it was a lot of trial and error, and then also scaling the business with the office space and hiring people and firing people. You know, there's no course for that. There's nobody gives you an education on what to do. So we had to learn, you know.
Yeah. So you've been able to scale your business to be a multi-million-dollar business. You're a multi-million-dollar business owner here, the production that your business does.
That's where we're headed in 2018. Yep. For the first time, we're going to here in 2018. Yep.
Wow, that's incredible. All right. And
Pretty exciting.
so what was that?
I said pretty exciting, man.
Absolutely. Production, it's excitement, it's business, it's growth. You know, when all your hopes and dreams and failures and everything comes together, it's exciting, man. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say most common issue that you run into when you're dealing with people and their credit, and maybe how does that correlate to how you would fit it into for real estate? Because my group is a real estate group. So maybe the issues that you help people with their credit and how that mostly could help my group of real estate agents be more successful.
Sure. Yeah. Certainly, if we're talking to realtors, you know, versus consumers. So if I'm talking to your group and you're in this group, you're a realtor, right? The first thing you got to be able to do is ask the question, where did the customer get their credit score from? So if you're trying to pre-qualify someone and get them over to a mortgage banker, you want to find out where they got that information at. That's really, really important. There's a lot of bad websites out there nowadays, Mike, and that are giving a FICO score. They're not giving the same score that a lender would pull. So the consumer are looking at these free apps online, and they're getting this false sense of their credit is better than what it is, and it's really not. And then they get to the realtor gets them to the loan officer, the loan originator, and the loan originator goes, you don't qualify right now because, you know, you still are short 50 points or 60 points, or you do qualify, but you're not going to get the best deal like you thought you would. So if you're a realtor out there, okay, the best advice I could give you is the site that we like, once again, through trial and error, I tried hundreds of them. I really like privacyguard.com. So if you guys are watching this or you rewatch this playback, write that down. Privacyguard.com. I have no affiliation with them. Doesn't matter to me who you use. But that privacyguard.com is a great site because we find it to be within 10 or 20 points of what an actual credit score, what a FICO score is from a lender. And the content of that report, Mike, like the accounts that are on there are accurate. So let me talk about that for a little bit too. So not to throw any of these apps under the bus, but like Credit Karma, we find those scores to be inflated by like 100 points sometimes. So you have a customer that's looking to buy a house, they got their tax refund money or whatever. They're looking to sell the house they're in and buy, and they're on Credit Karma app for free, and Credit Karma's telling them they're a 680. I've seen 680s on Credit Karma be a 580. I've also seen Credit Karma and some of those free apps, it's missing information, meaning it's missing some of the things that are on your report with a lender are not even showing up on this free app. So, you know the old adage, you get what you pay for, right? If it's free.
Exactly. That's unbelievable stuff. So everybody out there, write that down. What was that one more time for the people?
It's privacyguard.com. It's $1 for like a 10 or a 14-day trial. And then it goes to like a monthly fee of like, you know, I don't know, $17 a month. But that site's within 10 or 20 points. We find it to be a lot more accurate. And actually, Mike, it's not an inquiry, a hard inquiry. So therefore, a customer that's looking to buy a house does not have to have any fear to go on this site and take a look at their credit scores, because it's not a hard inquiry. It will not lower their scores at all.
So agents, what Credit Carl just said is basically when you have that client that you're showing houses to, or you're selling their house and they're talking about buying the next one, and they're worried about, well, if I go to a lender or I go to a mortgage person, they're going to pull my credit, it's going to affect my credit. You're saying, Carl, this is a great way to get a super accurate idea of your credit score without having to go to a lender and their fear of having that affect their credit score when they pull it.
100%.
That's huge.
It's being proactive. Yeah, that's what you want to do before you get that inquiry from the lender, is have somewhat of an idea of where you're at.
That is awesome information. That's good personally for me too. I'm going to actually go on that and do that. Make sure my credit score is where it needs to be and not have to worry all the time about my credit score being hit. So that is actually great information. So talk to me and talk to everybody out there about exactly not only, you know, what Credit Cocky is here, your group, and what you started, kind of what your ideas around Credit Cocky. But also too, if they want to switch over to that group and join your group, and obviously if they get the permission from you to join it, what will they be able to get from it?
Yeah, and Mike, for the record, I just added a bunch of people from realtors in my area and send them over to you. So you're probably going to have to approve them to see if you can add them to your group.
But if somebody make it happen.
Yeah, but if you guys are looking for free information, that was the point of the group, was to really just go in there, not solicit anyone for anything, and just try to drop valuable information for consumers and realtors. So if you need some tips for your own credit, or your customer, potentially needs some advice, I'm dropping some information on there that I feel like I don't feel comfortable giving it away. I mean, I put one of my first videos I put on there was how I personally got $100,000 in credit cards. And, I mean, that's something I feel like I could sell for a lot of money. And I dropped it on that group for free to try to get some traffic on there. And it's just good information. So it's unsolicited information, and try to build the group up. And that's the intention, Credit Cocky.
Everybody out there should be running to that Credit Cocky site to get that and watch that video, because I personally have. And you should be writing it down and memorizing it, recording it, because if he takes it down or he sells, he's going to make a lot of money on doing that. So that's so
You're
go
right.
check that thing out.
Mike, good point. I probably should take that down, Mike. That's an excellent point.
Well, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. That's my fault, because we were getting so much of that. But anybody out there, if anybody talks about credit or thinks about credit or wants to know about credit, you need to put the name Carl and Credit Carl on there and Credit Cocky, and that's what it has to be synonymous with. Carl, do you want to add anything before we wrap up here?
Yeah, I mean, I work with so many realtors. So if you are a realtor and you're in this group, don't be afraid to ask the question. There's a lot of old school realtors out there that are afraid to ask what the credit scores are. So, 10 years ago, that was something that you just didn't ask. Nowadays, it's completely fine, because since they've come up with these apps, everyone's score is in their face all the time. So don't be afraid to ask the question if you're a realtor. What is your score? And then from there, the follow-up question is, where did you get that information from? And then from there, I'm going to leave one tip. I think this is really valuable, Mike. I really do.
Yeah.
Realtors put loan officers up on a pedestal, okay? They're the bank, and they're hoping that they're going to pull some strings to find a way to get the deal done. Listen, but at the end of the day, do not put all of your faith in a loan officer, because some of them are awesome and some of them are order takers, meaning if they can't help your customer out right now, they like the right nows. They can't help them out right now, they don't have a solution for that person. So make sure you, as a realtor, if it's your lead and you generated that business, but you better not take no for an answer from someone that may be an order taker. Okay, so that's my advice to realtors out there. You generated it. Find out why they can't help out. And if the reason is credit, that's exactly what we do. There's companies out there that can help increase the scores and put the client in a position where maybe they can buy in the summertime. Okay?
Absolutely love it. Carl, for everybody out there watching, please give them the different sites that you have, from Facebook to your actual business, and the ways they can contact you.
Yeah, Instagram, we just built up the Instagram account. I'm 12,000 strong on there now.
Wow.
12,000 followers on Instagram. It's credit_blueprint, okay? And then on Facebook, we just started brand new Credit Cocky group. So if you just search Credit Cocky, that's going to come up as a group. You can ask to join. Love to have you, whether you're a consumer or a realtor or a loan officer. It's all about free credit. And then also my business page for Facebook as well, which is just Credit Blueprint Credit Coaching. That's it.
Okay, you heard it here, guys, from Carl. When you think credit, you think Carl, and all the different availabilities that you have to reach out to Carl. So Carl, I can't thank you enough for bringing all the insight that you have, also being a great friend, and just doing this back and forth with you has been absolutely awesome. And I hope we can continue this and keep getting this bigger and bigger. And me and Carl might actually have some other videos coming up in lives where we might just blow this thing out of the water and do some stuff that is unheard of. So Carl, thank you so much.
I had some questions for you too. So anyone on here that has any questions, man, next time we jump back on, if we do a live, we'll try to answer some questions for you guys. Okay. Thanks, Michael.
Absolutely. This was a ton of content, but the next couple we do, you need to be having these on your mind of what you want to ask and just fire them at us because we love that stuff. So getting you guys involved, especially the people watching, is absolutely imperative. So we need that. So again, Carl, thank you so much. Everybody out there watching, have a good day, and we will see you soon. Thanks, Carl.
Yeah.